A silent investment fund just bought controlling stakes in 40 countries, not companies. Countries. They control water rights in Africa, energy grids in Asia, rare earth mines worth trillions, and nobody saw it coming. The fund's name? MirrorBank Sovereign Fund. They operate from unmarked offices, no press releases, no interviews. But the truth behind this will shock you. Today, I'm revealing how they acquired more power than most governments, why world leaders are terrified, and the experimental technology that makes it all possible. Let me show you exactly how this happened. MirrorBank Sovereign Fund appeared in 2019. No fanfare, no announcement, just a registration in the Cayman Islands with $847 billion in assets. That's more than Norway's entire oil fund. Within 3 years, they had stakes in infrastructure across 6 continents. But here's what makes them different. Traditional funds buy stocks or bonds. MirrorBank buys power itself. Literal power. They target one thing: energy infrastructure in developing nations, water treatment plants in Pakistan, solar farms in Morocco, lithium mines in Chile. They don't just invest, they control, and they're backed by a coalition of tech billionaires nobody talks about. The fund operates through 200 shell companies. Each acquisition looks small on paper, a water utility here, a power station there, but connect the dots and you see the pattern. They're building a shadow empire, one that doesn't answer to voters or governments. The mastermind? A former physicist named Dr. Sarah Chen. Now here's where things get really interesting. Dr. Chen didn't start in finance. She was a fusion energy researcher at MIT. Her team was working on something called compact fusion reactors. Think nuclear power, but safe, clean, and the size of a shipping container. The project was classified. Then suddenly in 2018, she vanished from academia. Her lab shut down overnight. Patents disappeared. Former colleagues won't talk. Sources suggest she took the technology private. This is where MirrorBank comes in. They're not just buying existing power plants, they're replacing them. In Uganda, they acquired a failing coal plant for $12 million. Within 18 months, it was producing 5 times more power. The official story? New management and solar panels. But satellite analysis tells a different story. The facility has underground structures the size of football fields, heat signatures that don't match any known technology. Local engineers report seeing equipment they can't identify. One whistleblower claimed the reactors run on seawater and produce 0 emissions. If true, this isn't just an investment strategy. It's a technological revolution hidden in plain sight. But if you think that's crazy, wait until you hear this. MirrorBank doesn't work alone. They have silent partners in 12 governments. Here's how we know. In 2021, Bangladesh faced an energy crisis, blackouts daily, economy collapsing. Then MirrorBank showed up with a solution. They'd build a new power network. Cost? 0 upfront. Instead, they wanted a 50-year contract and control of energy pricing. The government agreed in 72 hours. No public bidding, no debate. Within 8 months, Bangladesh had stable power for the first time in decades. But there's a catch. MirrorBank now controls when power flows and to whom. During the 2023 elections, opposition strongholds experienced mysterious blackouts. Coincidence? Diplomatic cables obtained by investigative journalists suggest otherwise. The same pattern repeats everywhere. Nigeria, Sri Lanka, Guatemala. MirrorBank arrives during a crisis, offers a miracle solution, gains unprecedented control. And here's the terrifying part. According to energy policy experts, they're creating dependencies. Countries that accept their help can't leave. The technology is proprietary. No other company can service it. It's like drug addiction, but for nations. One former World Bank analyst called it the new colonialism. Instead of armies and flags, it's contracts and circuit breakers. And the experimental reactors, they're the bait that makes it all work. This brings us to the most shocking discovery of all. The reactors are real. and they work. Independent scientists who examined MirrorBank facilities in Morocco confirmed it. These aren't traditional fusion reactors. They use a breakthrough called mirror confinement, hence the company name. The technology reportedly achieves fusion at 1/10 the temperature of the sun. This was considered impossible 5 years ago, but Dr. Chen's team solved it. The implications are staggering. One reactor the size of a bus can power a city of 500,000 people forever. The fuel, seawater, and lithium, both practically unlimited. No carbon emissions, no radioactive waste. This is the holy grail of energy, and MirrorBank owns it exclusively. Here's what nobody's talking about. Patent filings from 2017 show the U.S. Department of Defense funded the original research. They classified it as a national security risk and buried it. Dr. Chen allegedly took the research offshore, found billionaire backers, and commercialized it in secret. Now she's using it to rewrite the global power structure. Literally. Countries with MirrorBank reactors don't need oil anymore, don't need Russian gas, don't need Saudi Arabia. Energy independence overnight, but they're dependent on MirrorBank instead. The company controls the technology, the maintenance, the supply chains. One executive reportedly said in a leaked recording, "We're not in the energy business, we're in the leverage business." So what does all this mean for us today? This changes everything about how power works in the 21st century. Not political power, actual electricity. For decades, energy meant geopolitics, oil wars, gas pipelines, OPEC. That world is ending. MirrorBank is creating a new order where technology, not resources, equals control, and they're moving fast. Internal documents suggest they plan to operate in 75 countries by 2027. That's half the world's population. Think about what that means. Climate change? Potentially solved, but at what cost? One company controlling power for billions of people. No democratic oversight, no competition, no alternative. For developing nations, this creates an impossible choice. Stay dependent on fossil fuels and collapse economically, or accept MirrorBank's terms and surrender sovereignty. There's no middle option. Western governments are panicking quietly. The CIA reportedly has a task force tracking MirrorBank acquisitions. The EU is drafting emergency regulations, but they're too slow. The contracts are already signed. The reactors are already running. For ordinary people, the effects are just beginning. Energy costs in MirrorBank territories have dropped 60%. That's life-changing for families spending half their income on electricity. But it comes with strings. Smart meters monitor everything. Usage patterns, peak times. The data flows back to MirrorBank servers. Some privacy advocates call it surveillance infrastructure disguised as progress. And here's the kicker. The technology could be shared freely, but MirrorBank chooses monopoly over liberation. Before we wrap up, there's one final thing you need to know. Dr. Chen gave one interview, off the record, to a tech journalist in Singapore. She said something chilling. "We're not the villains. We're the only ones willing to do what's necessary." When pressed about monopolistic control, she replied, "Someone has to manage the transition. Governments failed. We're succeeding. History will judge the results, not the methods." That's the worldview driving this. Techno-authoritarianism wrapped in environmental progress. And it's working. MirrorBank's power network is more reliable than anything built by governments. Cheaper, cleaner, more efficient. But it's also unaccountable. One company, one technology, one vision. This is the future being built in silence while the world watches social media and streaming services. The same billionaires funding MirrorBank are already planning the next phase: water desalination, food production, telecommunications, all using proprietary technology, all creating new dependencies. The age of energy abundance is here, but who controls abundance controls everything. That's the real story of MirrorBank Sovereign Fund. If this opened your eyes, you need to see what comes next. Let's recap what we just uncovered. a secret investment fund, now controls energy infrastructure in 40 countries using experimental fusion technology. They're creating a new global power structure where technological monopoly replaces traditional geopolitics. And the mastermind is a rogue scientist who turned classified research into a trillion-dollar empire. This isn't science fiction, it's happening right now. If you found this shocking, smash that subscribe button, because next week I'm exposing the water crisis conspiracy that connects to this same network. You won't believe who's involved. Drop a comment telling me, should breakthrough technology like this be public property, or is private control acceptable if it solves climate change? That's the debate we need to have. Share this video with someone who needs to know what's really happening behind the headlines. The truth is stranger than any thriller, and we're just getting started. I'll see you in the next investigation.